Blessings everyone, welcome. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from the usual light language transmissions, but this is still a divinely channeled message. I'm tapping into the beings of light, the highest vibrational templates of truth, of love, of light, to bring forth this message that I've been guided to share regarding discernment. One day I was about to fall asleep and doing some healing on myself when this being came into my awareness. And I've never seen this being before. I have never worked with this being before. It has a very prominent feature, and it's a headpiece that it's wearing here, right here in the crown area, with a huge gemstone in the middle and almost like wings coming out like this. I drew it in my journal over here. This is the prominent feature that I saw in this being, and it told me it has a really important message to share. And I was doing healing on myself, and I told him, I'm sorry, I do not have the capacity for you to tell me all of this right now. Can you please do it tomorrow? So it was very respectful. It retreated, and I fell asleep. The next morning, I sat in meditation, and I tapped into the frequency of this being again, and I asked where it was from and what message does it have for me. So it mentioned the word Hercules. I don't have a full idea of this being that just told me that's from Hercules. So I was a little bit skeptical, knowing that there are, two sides of the same coin. If there are light beings here that wants to help humanity, there are also the flip side, which many people say the darker entity, and that is not in alignment with humanity's evolution for our greatest and highest good. So I asked, my protocol is usually to check in 3 times, and the energy felt right. Most importantly, it respected my boundaries that night. And so I asked, what's the message? Why is it so urgent? And it said, it's something about the galactic war. When I hear those words, galactic war, I usually feel a little bit uncomfortable. I used to, but now not anymore, because I think it is very important to have awareness that when we are doing light work, there's also the shadow work that needs to be done. The dark and the light, they coexist. And this is something that we cannot shun away from. We cannot run away from this fact that dark and light coexist. There's always 2 sides to the same coin. We have to come back to balance, right? So as much as this channel is a lot of light codes, a lot of these frequencies from these higher dimensional realms, anchoring it into the earth, I have also been shown that this darker side of things exists as well, and we have to be very careful. So it led to the point of discernment. They talked about the galactic war, and they say, regardless of your beliefs, this is a fact, right? That darkness and light coexist. And so you cannot just ignore the fact that darkness exists, like how we do shadow work. In order to rise, we need to ground down deep into the underworld. In order to fly, we need to anchor deep down. The higher you want to go, the deeper you have to root down deep. So it's always this opposite forces that are trying to balance each other out, and so we remain in balance and remain in equilibrium, right? So discernment is very important as we are receiving so much activation, so much codes that are coming in right now, so much messages. So many people are awakening to their own abilities to channel. And I always say that channeling is an innate ability. We all have this ability to receive our own messages. We all have this ability to tap into this consciousness, this energetic realm. Everything in this universe is energy. And when you're channeling something, you're literally tapping into the energetic vibration of that message, or the energetic vibration of that thing or that being, and translating it into human words. And that is what we have the ability to do, all of us. We have to normalize this. It's not just me who's able to channel. It's not just someone else who's able to channel. No, everybody has the ability to receive their own messages. Even if you don't channel for someone else, you have the ability to receive your own messages. And now, as more and more people are channeling and sharing their messages online, it is very important to come back to yourself, to discern for yourself what feels right for you and what doesn't. And interference can happen when our vibrational frequency is somehow affected. And in our day-to-day lives, our vibrational frequency, our protective shield, fluctuates, if that's even the right word. Something can happen to you that causes you to unknowingly bring down your shield, to unknowingly, in layman terms, drop your frequency to the point where these things can easily interfere. These beings can easily interfere and affect the messages, affect the channeling. It's very important to tap in with your truth and connect with yourself, right? In your heart space. If there's a message that you receive that doesn't really feel like it resonates 100%, that's fine. You can drop it. You can release that. And you don't have to worry that if that's for you, then you have missed that. No. Because what's meant for you will always come back to you. What the universe, what your guides, what your team wants you to know, if you didn't receive it fully, they will come up with many ways to show it to you, to bring it to you. And that is why in our own experience, in our own human experience, when our souls choose certain lessons in our lives and we haven't learned from it fully, the universe brings us different people, different experiences that triggers that same thing so that we can move through it, so that we can learn, so that we can heal. And it's the same thing with messages. If there's an important message that's for you and you didn't fully receive, things will come up and it will show you that, hey, this is something important. Please take a look at this and please receive this. So what's meant for you will always find you. And what's not meant for you will just fall away. So don't worry if you're concerned of losing a message that's important for you. No. If it doesn't resonate 100%, it is always okay and so okay to release that, right? And perhaps you can even say, do a little prayer to the universe, or ask the universe or your guides, please, if this message is really meant for me, then show me in other forms until I receive it. Set the intention and it will show you. So it is very important, I'm receiving, that the essence of discernment is always coming back to yourself. What is true, what is false is not important, because everything on earth, in the universe, has no right or wrong, true or false. If you really collapse it down to the singularity, it is non-binary. Don't even know what that means. Just got the word non-binary. It is non-polar. If we collapse it down to its essence, it's literally just energy. It's literally just waveform. And that means nothing. That means nothing. It's just energy. And it's only when it comes into the material world where we put labels on it. We say, this thing is red, this thing is blue, this thing is green. Really? Is it really green? The tree that I'm looking at right now, is it really green, or is it because we've been programmed to see this color as green? Maybe it's pink, maybe it's red, maybe it's black, but we've been programmed that this is green. So can you see how a lot of things that we understand in the world is literally made up by us? Time is made up by humans. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It is literally just a concept or a meaning that we put onto things so that we can understand how this world works. So there's no truly something that is right and something that is wrong. There's no black and white. There is no true and false. So I know that it can be quite confusing, especially in the spiritual community, when different channelers are saying different things, when different people are defining things differently, and you're like, so what is true, what is false? I'm so confused. Come back to yourself. Remember discernment. Come back to yourself. And the important thing to realize, the most important message here, besides coming back to yourself, is that what is true is what you need in this moment. What is true for you might not be true to someone else. Does that mean that one person's right, one person's wrong? No. The universe meets us where we're at. Our guides meet us where we're at. What is true is what you need in this moment. What is true is what you need in this moment. Why? Because that's the way that our guides meet us where we're at, meet us where our frequency is vibrating at, so that when the message comes through to you, it resonates and you receive it. When people talk about beings like the Pleiadians, for example, there's an example, or even the gods that different religion actually worship, pray to, learn from, that specific god can look very different to individuals. And this doesn't mean that one school of thought is wrong and the other is right. There is no right or wrong again. It's literally energy transforms itself into something that we're ready to receive. So for example, right, if we talk about Pleiadians, if we talk about extra-dimensional beings looking like a certain way, and you're like, oh, but I didn't see the Pleiadians in this way, I didn't see the Avens in this way, I didn't this, I didn't that. It doesn't mean that one person's right or wrong again, because energy can be transformed. And what we're seeing might not even be their true form, because different people have different acceptance level, if that is even the right way to describe it. Different ability, receptiveness. And if they showed up in their true form, we might not even understand, or we might be scared. And so they transform into something that is relatable to us, that we've seen before, and something beautiful, and they come to us and they give us the message. And because we're able to accept how they look like and their frequency and their energy, therefore our hearts are open, we're not scared, therefore we can receive. So that is the most important thing, to realize that the universe meets us where we're at. These energies meet us where we're at. And so it can sound very different, it can look very different, it can feel very different, and it can come out in a very different way. Like light language, everybody channels it differently. Doesn't mean that one person is channeling something wrong and one person is channeling something right. No, it's just how it's being processed by individuals. And then different individuals will resonate with different things, different people. So if there are two things that you need to take away from this video, if you forget everything, there's just two things that you need to know. And the first thing is that when we talk about discernment, it's always about coming back to yourself. Coming back to this place, this heart space that is your inner compass. It's literally this electromagnetic field that guides you to what you need to know. Which leads on to the second thing, which is what is true for you, is what you resonate with in this moment. And this can be different in the future. This can be different in the past. It can be different with many other people. But that is your truth, and that was what you need to know in this moment. So the truth is what you need to know in this moment, and that's it. Two simple things. Discernment. If I can add on the third thing, because the number 3, the Holy Trinity, my life path is number 3. So if we can make it 3, the last thing is take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. This is very important. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Don't worry about missing out on something, because you will never miss out on something that is so important for you to know. So that's it. 3 simple things on discernment. As we move along in this journey, as more people awaken, more people are going to start channeling. You perhaps are going to start channeling and receiving your own messages, your own ways of understanding certain things, your own definition towards certain things. Don't start to compare yourself with someone else. Don't start to think and try to validate and confirm what you're receiving is right. It doesn't matter, because you're receiving it. The reason you're receiving it is because you need it. That is your truth. And if you want to share it, please share it, because someone else might resonate with it. So that's all that I have for today. Let's end off with a little bit of a light language activation to really drop into our own discernment. Shukuruai sete karaisha, sutukuruai shite karai saire sete kai, shutuai se, shutuai se, shutuai se. Clearing the beliefs that you cannot receive your own messages. Sha ere kirai sete kai sha, sha ete kirai shite kai sa, sha ere ai kete kai shisa. clearing the belief that you need to receive messages from someone else. Akarai shite karai senai se ukwai shite ka atakarai shite ka usua shite kaisha sete kaisha. Clearing the belief that someone who has been channeling for a long time, who has more followers, who have more subscribers, who's already doing this spiritual work for a long time, is better than you, is more accurate than you. Shukuru ai se clearing, clearing, clearing. Ukura ai se te raisa. Ukuru ai se te karaisa. Utuku ai se te karaisa. You are a sovereign being. Remember, remember, remember. Take your power back. Akarai shirai sete raisha. Akarai shirai sete kaisha. Atakarai shirai sete kaisha. Take your power back. Take your power back. Take your power back. Arai seraisha. Arai seraisha. Arai seraisha. Arai sheraisa. Centering in your heart space. Now tapping into this field, tapping into this space. This is your inner compass, and allow this inner compass to guide you to the people, to the messages, to the things that aligns with your highest vibrational truth. Sha'ete karaise, sha'ere karaise, sha'ere karaise aisha. And so it is. Let me know in the comments down below how you resonated with these messages, and check out the links below for our upcoming circle. There is a water circle coming up on the 23rd of May. And if you have missed this water circle, no worries. Check the link below in the description box, as there are always circles every month. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you in the next one.